Live.
Hi, everyone. This is Ryan Chitwood, Vice Chair of the City of Annapolis Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. I'll be running this meeting because our chairwoman, Claire Conyer, is a bit under the weather and without a voice. However, she has enough of a voice to vote. So thank you, Claire, for participating. Before we start, one thing I wanted to note, former chairman Jimmy Praley, no longer on the board after 10 years of continuous service. We should have probably recognized this in June. Jimmy, thank you for everything. He was a great leader. He was a great sounding board and a great voice for the citizens of Annapolis with regards to the purview of this board. So,
Mr. Vice
sorry,
Chair, wonderful,
sorry,
wonderful
Jimmy, we
remarks
didn't do
about
this in
the service
June.
that
Hopefully you're watching. First off, let's call the roll here. So I'm present, Vice Chair Ryan Chitwood, Member Chris Sheehan, Member Dick Peterson, Chairwoman Claire Conyer, Deputy City Clerk Cynthia Gaines, and from the City Attorney's Office, Bianca Smith, all present. Just to note, this is a virtual meeting, so anybody that wants to give public comment has the ability to do so through the city website, https /www.annapolis.gov/ABC. And of course, these meetings are available via YouTube. All right. Has everyone had an opportunity to look at the minutes from June?
Yes.
Do we have any corrections? Any adjustments?
No.
I will
Move
move
they
that
be
we
approved.
approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
I
Aye.
Fantastic. All right. I think we have a public hearing here for a new license. Madeline, can we bring forward the folks from BLI West LLC trading as Positano? So we have Trip. I see Trip. Trip, if you can put on your camera and unmute yourself, that'd be great. Oh, Trip, sorry.
You're good. Evening.
How are you?
Doing well.
Okay, so Trip, I know, and we have Shep. Ivano is here.
Phil needs to accept the prompt is James Kioski.
Just
Sorry,
He just accepted, so that should be everyone.
okay, so Madeline, everyone's here. Shep, I don't see you. Oh, there you are. And then James just accepted, right, Matt? Okay. Okay, everybody's here. Perfect. So this is for the public hearing. So agenda item 2, application for a new alcoholic beverage license, BLI West LLC trading as Pastiano, an application for a new alcoholic beverage license, Class B2 beer, wine, and liquor, only with meal, 6 a.m. to 12 midnight, 7 days a week, special Sunday license by James. Ooh, sorry, James. I'm gonna murder this.
Kajowski.
What is it?
Kajowski.
Kajowski. Ivano DePerta.
Scotto.
Okay.
It's one long last name. It gets confusing.
Regina Carbon. For the premises known as BLI West LLC, trading as Pastiano, located at 106 Annapolis Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. So could I have anyone who wants to provide testimony on this matter, please raise their right hand. I will administer the oath. Do you swear under the Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Oh, he's a perjurer.
Do do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you will give tonight is complete and correct?
I do.
Okay, great. Mr. Fulton, do you want to start off or
Sure.
with your client? However you guys want to go about this, just tell us about this endeavor.
I'll kick it right off, Mr. Vice Chairman. I appreciate it. And before I do, I thought I would just offer to the board that I think a lot of folks in the legal community too will miss Mr. Praley. He was a welcome resource to a lot of us, and I'm sad to see him go. Mr. Vice Chairman, members of the board, I'm Trip Fulton with Hyatt Weber on behalf of your applicant this evening, BLI West LLC, and its members and individual licensees, James Kajowski, Ivano Scotto Di Berta, and Regina Carbone. Also with us this evening is Shep Tullier. He's a recognized expert in the fields of land use and planning. Shep's expected to testify as to the public need for the license requested this evening.
And just to be fair, so it's not to cut you off, Mr. Tollier's been before this board, so I don't think you need to qualify anything there.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Mr. Vice Chairman. This application is for a new Class B2 beer, wine, and liquor special Sunday license for the premises known as 106 Annapolis Street in West Annapolis. So long as the board doesn't mind, I will be proceeding this evening by way of proffer. I know you guys have a decent sized agenda this evening. I hope not to keep you all too long.
Sounds good. Thank you, Mr. Fulton. Go ahead.
Quick couple of housekeeping items in advance of this meeting. Notice of this public hearing was properly and timely posted. It was mailed to requisite nearby property owners, and I believe it was also posted in a newspaper by the deputy, by the city clerk's office. For those who don't know, this application is for the now former Agave restaurant space located there on Annapolis Street in West Annapolis. The property is zoned B1, and it benefits and it's subject to a existing special exception by the Board of Appeals for an up to 128 combined indoor and outdoor standard restaurant, excuse me. It's pursuant to that special exception that the applicants this evening are proposing a standard restaurant called Positano, which will offer a specialized menu in Neapolitan Italian dishes. It'll include a modest list of pastas, Italian appetizers and salads, selection of wines, beers, and liquors, and a list of pizzas, which will be prepared in a artisan wood-burning handcrafted pizza oven that'll actually be visible from the main dining area at the premises. For those who are familiar with the premises, essentially right when you walk in to what was formerly the hostess stand, directly behind that is envisioned to be a visible preparation area where the patrons at Positano will literally be able to watch their pizzas be cooked. It's this slight modification to the floor plan that I think is actually going to reduce the seating arrangement. I think we're permitted under the special exception up to that 128 indoor outdoor seating, but I think the applicants are going to lose a seat or two due to this pizza area off to the side of the dining floor. I believe we are approved or we're seeking 124 seats for the establishment.
And this is, sorry, this is the former Agave, right?
Correct. It's the same
And
space.
it's the same license that Agave had.
It's the same zoning approval. So essentially the Board of Appeals handed down, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago.
I'm sorry, in terms of the same license that you're requesting here, it's the same license that
it's not technically. This is not technically a transfer. It's a new license.
No, I understand it's not a transfer, but in terms of the license itself.
Yes. Pardon me, Mr. Vice Chairman. It's a Class B2 license. Food must be served with alcoholic beverages. Again, that is mandated by the special exception zoning approval, in addition to a variety of other conditions, which will remain applicable at the proposed restaurant.
And I think all the licensees, or the proposed licensees, I don't know about Gina, but James and Ivano, they're named on other licenses within the city of Annapolis, correct?
That is not correct. Ivano's on a license in a separate jurisdiction, Anne Arundel County, which is not the city's jurisdiction. And Mr. Gajowski was formerly on a city liquor license, but he's no longer on that license. And I believe it's been quite a number of years since he was on that license, over 10. At this point, I would ask that the application materials that have been submitted to the city clerk's office be admitted to the record in this application. And with that, I'd like to turn to Shep briefly just for a quick few questions about the public need associated with this proposal. Shep, you with me?
Yep.
Apologies, I didn't see you there. Evening, Mr. Tillier. Can you briefly give your name and address for the record?
Yes, Shepherd Touye. My address is 614 Taman Drive in Annapolis, Maryland.
And although I appreciate the Mr. Chairman's admission as as an expert on this matter, could you just quickly explain to the board your qualifications as it pertains to public need for alcoholic beverage licenses?
I've testified a number of times before the city board and also the Anne Arundel County board on the issue of new licenses, transfers, public need.
Are you familiar with the West Annapolis neighborhood and the businesses and restaurants located on and around the Annapolis Street corridor?
Yes, I am. And I also was the expert for agave. So, that was only a couple of years ago. So I'm still familiar with the neighborhood, but there have been a couple of changes, which I'll mention.
Oh,
Sure. And is it true that there was in fact a special exception granted for a standard restaurant rather on the first floor at 106 Annapolis Street?
Yes, that there was a special exception granted. It's still in force today.
And can you explain the intent of any of the city's comprehensive plans or master plans as it might pertain to the subject property in West Annapolis generally?
Well, the city's comprehensive plan was amended by the adoption of the West Annapolis Master Plan. And there was a designation of a village Main Street for Annapolis Street. And basically, it's an area that they promote restaurants and active street frontage activities, and it's something that they want the community to appreciate. There are a number of different uses on Annapolis Street in particular. There's the ice cream shop, bakery, bagel shop, juice bar, coffee shop, Evelyn's Restaurant, which doesn't have licenses there. But the comprehensive plan basically laid out what they thought in 20 years would be the best way to approach the future development and use of West Annapolis. And Annapolis Street is kind of the main spine. And again, it is the village Main Street as been designated in the comprehensive plan.
And is using 106 Annapolis Street for the proposed standard restaurant consistent with that plan?
Oh, absolutely. This is the kind of use that the comprehensive plan calls for and the West Annapolis master plan calls for. And of course, in this specific circumstance right now, for whatever reason, the attempt by Agave to establish itself in this fine mixed-use building, it's really a nice building, and but they've moved on, and so what I would say what would be inconsistent with the plan was would be to have an empty storefront at this location. So that's why I believe that's one of the reasons why I think there is a public need for the license at this location.
And have you analyzed the number and location of existing licenses in the surrounding area? And in turn, do you have any opinion as to what impact, if any, this instant license might have on existing licensed establishments that you identify?
Sure. I looked at the number and the location of the existing licenses and potential effects. Of course, adjacent to Naval Bagels and very close to Grawls in the shopping center, right off of Rao Boulevard, is Bella Italia, which is a pizzeria and restaurant. It's been there a very long time. It is family friendly. It does a lot of carryout business based on my review. So that is a restaurant that's a few blocks away. right across the street and a little to the south is Ingrano Restaurant and Events. Ingrano has a bakery on Harry Truman Parkway, and I believe a cafe over there. That's in Anne Arundel County. But they are a boutique restaurant. That's how they advertise themselves. They have a small menu, pretty high price point, but obviously they know what they're doing, and they replaced Flamant, which was a Flemish restaurant that was there for maybe 10 years or so. And they were able to take over that space. And then the newest restaurant in the area is Chessie's Wharf, which is over on Melvin Avenue. It's close to the bakery there. And that's a tap house that's a part of the RAR brewery endeavor. And so they have a lot of their own craft beers there. So when I looked at these restaurants, there's, the Ingrano is really more of a I would call it Mediterranean, and they also have some Japanese items. So it's kind of a unique spot that they're in terms of their menu. And a Bella Italia is, that they have a lot of subs, pizza, pasta, calzones, and they, as I say, they're a family restaurant, and they're at a lower price point. And Chessie's Wharf, of course, is something completely different from the rest of the restaurants I've mentioned. This proposal, in looking at Positano's menu, it fits in between because it's more Neapolitan. And yeah, there would be a couple of items that overlap with Bella Italia, but it's going to be different than in Grano and Bella Italia. And I think there is a public need for this type of restaurant at this location in West Annapolis. I think it'll have a positive effect on the neighborhood. Restaurants often like the synergy of having activity on the street. So, if there's somebody who goes to one restaurant and then sees the other one, they might try the other one. So I think that Positano is unique, and it will offer a really nice experience, I believe. And again, when you have an empty space on on Annapolis Street at this location, it's important to try to find the appropriate use, and I believe this is.
That's awesome. Thank you, Mr. Tullier. Appreciate that. Sorry, Mr. Fulton. You know what? I'm just going through the application, and the reason I thought the applicants might already have licenses is because I know there's some other parties that have financial interests, and sorry, I apologize.
It's quite all right. It's a healthy bunch. Go ahead.
So anyway, so then let's go to this.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
before we lose Mr.
Mr.
Tullier,
Vice Chairman.
excuse me. Let me read.
Madam Chairman is present without a voice.
Mr. Vice Chairman, I have a question for Mr. Tullier regarding the West Annapolis location. Mr. Tullier,
Yes, sir.
I have to tell you that
Yes.
in looking at you, you're very washed out. Something,
Oh
Can you
my
come
God.
upstairs?
something in your background. But
Where
Shep,
are the tea packets?
Shep, what is your advice to the new owners
Okay.
about why the previous restaurant probably didn't make it in West Annapolis? Have you given them your expert advice?
Well, I've talked to Mr. Fulton about this. I think I have an opinion. My opinion is this. They had a very successful restaurant in Rehoboth Beach, which is obviously a significant tourist destination. And they were able to also have a sister restaurant in Lewis, Delaware, 9 miles away from Rehoboth Beach. And they were also very successful there. So they brought that business model to West Annapolis, which is not downtown and certainly
Yeah.
not Eastport in terms of seeking its market. And I mean, this is going to sound, I don't know,
You can say the
judgmental, I
quiet
guess.
part out loud, Shep. Go ahead.
No, it's just that their business model when they opened, what I recall, was $19 margaritas. So I think that they were a little priced out of the market, and they thought that they would get the clientele that they had in Lewis and in Rehoboth Beach. But West Annapolis is very different. It's unique. It's a really cool area, and the city's, great to have it. But I don't think they really figured that out. And I mean, I was looking at my file because I had information about this premise, and it was, I don't know. I think they got their license in January of 23, and I don't know how long the premise has been vacant, but it's been more than a few months. So they only had like a season and a half, and I guess
Yeah.
they figured out pretty early that it just wasn't happening the way they thought.
Yeah. Thanks, Shep. I appreciate that because I think they need, you hit on it right away. Annapolis, West Annapolis, Eastport is not a $19 margarita town.
So, here's
One
my
follow-on
question.
question, Mr. Vice Chair.
Yeah.
Shep, are you guys going to serve some delicious Neapolitan style pizzas?
Yes, but I'm not in charge of the menu. I've seen it, and it looks great.
For the applicants, can you just give us a little background about your, I know that we were talking about some licenses in other jurisdictions. Has anyone had compliance issues or anything where you hold a license?
Vice Chairman, would you mind if I ask that you clarify the question? I'll offer you this in context. There's in my mind a difference between being on a license and having an interest in a licensed premises. I'm willing to bet it, depending on what you're asking, you might get a different answer.
Name license in this jurisdiction or any other.
Sure, I'll let Mr. Scotto and Mr. Kajowski both answer to the best of their knowledge. Ivano, if you have any information that's responsive to Vice Chairman's request.
Yeah, I haven't been on a license. I've not been the name on the license in a few years, but until I was a name on the license, no. But just to be completely forthcoming, I am involved in a restaurant or two that in the last maybe 5 to 10 years have had minor compliance issue, whether stickers and stuff like that. So kind of yes and no to answer your question.
But you've been present in another establishment that serves alcohol for 10 years and you're not in jail, right? I mean,
Correct. No, never got close.
James, what's
I was on the Osteria license on Main Street with Arturo.
Okay.
We started that together. I was on the license. I'm speculating 8 or 9 years because it's been a minute since we opened in 2006. Maybe it was 13 years because that's when I got out, and we did not have any infractions there during the time I was on the license. And to my best knowledge of any other place I've had an interest in, I think we've had in 23 years, one person serving somebody underage in a 23-year running restaurant. And that's the culmination of all my malfeasance.
Gina?
Mr. Chairman.
Well, hold on one second. I just want to ask Gina the same question.
This is my first license.
Okay. Can you guys just talk just briefly, what is your plan for training staff with regards to the sale of alcohol?
I'll chime in here and then I'll turn over to Ivano if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Pullman.
No, you're good. I appreciate the questions. all of your applicants this evening have received and reviewed the city's rules and regulations. They are fully aware of the city's requirement that there at least be one alcohol awareness or tips trained individual at all times, so long as the premise is open and serving alcohol. I also understand that it's typically the sport's policy to recommend that anyone serving alcohol ought to be alcohol awareness trained, and I will certainly advise my clients to that effect. Your applicants are also, by virtue of being on licenses in the past and in other jurisdictions, aware that should the need arise that they have to answer to any inquiries or concerns from this board, they will be called in to do just that. With that, Ivano, if you have any specifics as to how Positano is going to certify its servers, please feel free to inform the vice chairman.
So as a company in general, we make sure that everybody that serves alcohol is tip certified.
That's great.
We gave new hires, usually a couple of weeks to get it done, but we have enough restaurants amongst our staff that we usually hold their own classes. So it's not a matter of that. It's not a matter of them having to with a qualified inspector or trainee, however you want to call it.
Certified trainer.
Yeah. But we usually hold our own, couple times a year. I run a big establishment called Red Ice Duck Bar. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We have probably throughout the summer coming and going over 100 people that we get qualified, we get tip certified to work there, whether it's a little waitress to a veteran bartender and so forth. On top of that, we just started offering an incentive program because that didn't seem to be quite, the more we did, the better it is. Of anybody that cards somebody who's not underage, we give them a gift card. So that's just something that we do as a policy ourselves. Yeah. But they can just keep sending their friend and know that they're coming so they can get gift cards. It's got to be be organic.
I think the one, and I totally appreciate that when you're talking about that establishment. I think when you're in West Annapolis and when you're talking about your concept and what you want to do, you almost fall asleep at the wheel because you're not going to be bombarded with that. And so it is the understanding that it doesn't matter. We're doing this every time. This is our policy, whatever that is. And it's because it happens.
It's not just
it happens in sleepy West Annapolis as much as it can happen in bustling
absolutely
Red Eyes and downtown.
And we expect to be tested, so we know we will be ready. So it's something that we deal with it on a daily basis.
Yeah, and I mean the spirit of it shouldn't be we're going to be tested. The spirit of it should be we don't want to serve underage people.
No, for sure. And that's why we have, the policy that we have in place, which in most jurisdictions usually go above and beyond what's required.
Yeah. Like I said. Yeah, that's great. Anybody have any other questions? Dick,
I do,
like
Mr.
you're
Chairman.
moving close to the camera.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Vice Chairman.
My question is, who is going to be the general manager of this establishment? Is it Gina?
I'm not sure they have a general manager identified quite yet, Mr. Peterson, and by all means, Ivana, please clarify me if I do. I think we're about 4 to 5 months out from opening the doors. There's a bit of work to do.
Oh, okay.
And by all means, if the board needs to be notified of who that person is, please let us know. I'll add one thing.
When
the board issued its special exception, it conditioned it on any requirements by the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. So whatever conditions you guys have, they also must apply.
And I think, and you mentioned it, Mr. Fulton, obviously the board always recommends everybody should be tip certified. Also, in the event that we approve this license, we need to decide, to your point, when you want to pick the license up.
Yeah, we would prefer a date around 4 or 5 months out, if that's what the board's currently allowing. I don't recall exactly if it's a 6-month window from that date or 6 months from the date of approval. But the further out that date is for us, the better. We're working with about a 4 to 5 month timeline right now.
I think Deputy City Clerk Cynthia Gaines might have an answer for you.
There is no time limit. You can choose whatever date you want.
Can we pick 5 months from today?
Just give me the specific date and you can have it.
Unless, and real quick, I'll defer to Mr. Kajowski or Scott. If you guys have a preference, feel free to let me know.
Well, there's some variables that are not within our control, like we're having the brick oven,
Construction.
we're having the pizza oven made for us, and there's a time lag that we're trying to scoot them along as fast as we can. But because we don't own their manufacturing facility, I'm not going to say we're at their mercy, but they do have, and maybe Ivano can speak to this better than I. I mean, we'd like to open the doors candidly as soon as possible once we have everything established to the board's approval. But there are obviously, when you're building a business like this, there are pieces of the puzzle that are not within our control. And yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Mr. Vice Chairman. I would just like to add, even though you choose a date that may be 6 months out, you will have an opportunity to extend that
Yeah.
2 more times if you need to.
And this board is very, very aware of construction delays within the confines of the city of Annapolis.
Mr.
So-
Scott is trying to ask you a question.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Go
so-
ahead, sir.
Thank you. Since there is an opportunity to extend it, and then most likely there won't be an opportunity to get it earlier, would it be wiser to make it 4 months? Just in case everything falls our way, which most likely won't?
No, if we approve right now, I believe that, you've got 6 months and then you can come back and request a renewal.
This is the most important part you have to understand. When you go and see Miss Gaines and pick up that license, you have to be operating.
Right.
Okay.
As Mr. Fulton knows, and he can guide you through
Well,
that.
we'll pick a date to Mr. Scotto's point, and respectfully, Mr. Peterson, I think you pick a date, and then from that date, you get 6 months to do it.
That's about right. Yep.
That's fine. Mr.
we-
Chairman,
We'll
Mr.
go
Vice,
we'll go with a 4-month date from tonight's hearing.
I was
so
just
long as
throwing it
is-
out there so you guys know, because I know you're still doing some things. And I just
Thank
want to
you.
put that on everyone's radar.
Mr.
So-
Vice Chairman,
Mr. Peterson.
I move we approve.
Second.
And I'm having internet problems.
Nope, you're not. All in favor?
Aye.
I see Ms.
Aye.
Conyers' hand up. Mr. Sheehan said aye, and I say aye as well. So thank you very much, guys. Good luck to you. I think you're doing a great
Good
thing. I
luck.
think it's a great thing for Weston.
Good luck, guys.
So appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
See you there soon.
Kind of surprised we talked about this as long as we did. Take care, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving forward. All right, that closes the public hearing portion of this meeting. We'll move into new business. There's an application for substitution deletion of license, Governor Calvert House, Beverage, trading as Governor Calvert House. Application for a substitution deletion of license and Governor Calvert House, Beverage, Inc., trading as Governor Calvert House, location 58 Church Circle, Annapolis, Maryland 21401. Licensee deleted, James Cowan. Licensee added, Jason Reeder. Yes, Miss Gaines.
I'm so sorry. I was trying to alert you before you began that they postponed again.
Again, I
Oh,
think this is
no.
the third
Wow.
month in a row. All right, let me get my pen out and we're gonna cross that one. So we go to agenda item 4. An application for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property, West Annapolis Business Affiliation Oktoberfest. And I just want to make sure. Okay. There wasn't something else they want to do. Hi, Mary.
Hi guys, how y'all doing?
Good, Mary. Okay, so we are here again for an application for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property, West Annapolis Business Affiliation, Inc., Oktoberfest.
Yes.
Mary, can you please raise your right hand and I will administer the oath? Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury what you will provide to this board will be true and correct?
Yes.
Thanks, Mary. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
Sure. Cindy, do you want to talk first?
I'm so sorry, Mr. Vice Chair, we need names and address for the record.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, so sorry. Mary, can you give me your name and address?
Yes, Mary Ostrowski, 1763 Meadow Hill Drive, Annapolis,
Sorry, Cindy, I figure
21409.
since she comes every year, we
I know. I do have to say that the Positano conversation was long, but it was delightful to hear. We're all waiting for that space to be filled in West Annapolis.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Oktoberfest is in its, I don't even know how many years we're going on now. But we will, like last year, partner once again with RAR Brewing now that Chessie's is in the neighborhood. We'll partner with them this year and close off Annapolis Street and Giddings Avenue. We've got roughly 100 vendors that are set for the day, and a beer garden, and an area for the families, for kids to do some activities. And it will be shopping and food and a band and music and so on and so forth. Hopefully good weather and a lovely afternoon for families to come and join us.
is this anything different about what we've done what you have done in years past?
It's not.
Neighbors, nobody's upset.
No, we haven't gotten any complaints. Last year, our biggest complaints were that the lines for the food were too long and the lines for the beer were too long. So
Those are
we
good
will.
complaints.
They certainly were.
Yeah, those are good complaints. So we'll shoot. We're gonna rearrange particularly food vendors a bit this year to try to space those lines out. Invite a couple more food vendors. I think we will also create just one more beer station, again, to just try to thin out the lines a little bit.
Board members, do we have any questions for Mary?
None for me.
Mr. Chairman, I move we
Mr.
approve.
Member Peterson, you move.
I move.
I second.
Chair Conyer seconded. All in favor? Aye. Unanimous. As
Thank you,
always,
ladies and
Mary.
gentlemen. Hope you'll
Thank you.
all
Have
be
a
able to
great
come.
event. Be safe.
Thank you. All
Thank
right,
you.
bye-bye.
So I think that moves us to item 5. And I will make a motion to combine item 5 and item 6 on the agenda. Item 5 being
Second.
open to the public event number American Legion Post 141 4th of July dance, request for an open to the public event number 2 with consumption of alcoholic beverages and live music to the American Legion Post 141 for a pre-4th of July dance scheduled on July 3rd. That's tomorrow. 2025 from 8 to 11 p.m. Location 1707 Forest Drive. And item number 6, open to the public event number 3, American Legion Post 141 R&B Bingo, request for an open to the public event number 3 with the consumption of alcoholic beverages and live music to the American Legion Post 141 for a R&B Bingo scheduled on July 10, 2025 from 6 to 11:30 p.m. Location 1707 Forest Drive, Annapolis, Maryland 21401. Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Fantastic. Do we have Gunny here with us?
Yes, I am.
Gunny is here. Okay, so Gunny, we have 2 events. Could you just break these down for us and give us tell us what you're doing and what you're going to be doing to control the distribution of alcohol?
Okay,
Sorry, Gunny, you also
hand.
have to testify. You have to
Raise my-
tell us your name and your address.
I was gonna raise my hand and do all that stuff too.
I know you come here, you're here all the time, so I just feel like sometimes like you should be on the board. Can you just give us your name and address for the record?
Yes, my name is Curtis Jones. I'm at 1707. Well, I'm not at 1707. Jeez. I think I live there sometimes. My wife says I do. But anyway, I'm at 1400 Bretton View Road, Annapolis, Maryland. 21409.
Gunny, would you mind raising your right hand? I'm just gonna administer an oath for your testimony this evening. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury your testimony this evening will be true and complete?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, Gunny. Do you want to tell us about these events?
Yes. The first one is, like you said, was a pre-4th of July function. Since we're not planning on having a 4th of July event, so we're doing something pre, which hence the word pre. I don't know where it came from, but they came up with it.
Could just be a July 3rd event.
July 3rd event. That's what I would have called it, but someone more creative than I came up with it. And basically, it was going to be at the inside our building, inside the hall, and we'll have elite security there. There'll be no drinks allowed on the outside. We have signs posted: no drinking in the parking lot, no drinking, and no drinks will be taken outside of the building. And that's the first one. And the second one for July 10th, the auxiliary unit 141 wants to do a bingo night to invite the public also. And elite security will be there for that also. And that will be done inside the hall also. And no drinks will be taken outside of the building or in the parking lot. There's no drinking allowed in the parking lot at all. And we'll have elite security monitoring that also. Whew.
Gunny, you get this question every time. And every once in a while, it's okay if you say no. Are you going to be there? For these two events, will you be present?
July 10th, I may come out, but the 3rd, there's a possibility I won't be there.
But you have somebody that's knows the in and outs of how to run these things?
Yes. The second vice will be there for both events. And
The
her
neighbors
name,
know you guys are doing these things, right?
well, the answer is yes. We don't have neighbors yet.
Wow.
We will have some coming up, and when we do have those neighbors in the willows, we'll be letting them know when things are going forward.
Does anybody have any questions for Gunny?
Yeah, Gunny,
Yes, sir.
when did you start using Elite?
We have been using Virgil Wells with elite security for, geez, a great long time.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Yeah, I'm very impressed with Virgil and Elite Security. So good for you.
Yeah, he actually does all our security, and when we have people that want to use the hall, he's the only one we recommend because
Right.
I trust him.
Yeah,
And I know he's going to
exactly.
be there and be on time and be on Johnny on the spot.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve.
Is there a second? Madam Chair Claire seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good luck, Gunny.
That's 4 ayes, Gunny. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming. All right, moving forward, I will make a motion that we combine agenda items 7, 8, and 9. Agenda item 7, open to the public event. Number 3, Perilous Wrens Club anniversary celebration. Request for an open to the public event number 3 with the consumption of alcoholic beverages and live music to the Perilous Wrens Club for an anniversary celebration scheduled on July 13th, 2025 from 2 to 7, location 406 Chester Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland 21403. Agenda item 8, open to the public event number 4, Perilous Friends Club monthly birthday celebrations. Request for an open to the public event number 4 with the consumption of alcoholic beverages and live music to the Perilous Friends Club for a monthly birthday celebration scheduled on August 9, 2025 from 6 to 10 p.m. Location 406 Chester Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland 21403. And then finally, agenda item 9, open to the public event number 5, Perilous Wrens Club monthly birthday celebrations. request for an open to the public event number 5 with consumption of alcoholic beverages and live music to Perilous Wrens Club for a monthly birthday celebration scheduled on September 19, 2025 from 2 o'clock to 7 p.m. Location 406. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Second.
Fantastic. And I think we have Brianna here to represent Perilous Wrens
Here.
for agenda items 7, 8, and 9. Brianna, would you mind giving us your name and address before we get going?
Brianna Cuffey, 1227 Gemini Drive, Annapolis 21403.
Brianna, would you also mind raising your right hand and I will administer the oath? Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you will give to this board is true and complete?
I do.
Thank you. Do you want to tell us about these 3 events, Brianna?
So we have actually had a change of plan for the first one. I had a request from we had a request from another officers to change the date. So we don't need, I guess that would be number 7, at least as of yet. We're not sure when we're going to reschedule that.
So you don't need the license for the event scheduled for July 13?
Not anymore as of this afternoon. I got word this afternoon. We're going to reschedule it, but I'm not sure until when.
Okay, so Miss Gaines, should we just delete it?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe, Mr. Vice Chair, you should just make a motion to just postpone or delete that one.
Okay, I'll make a motion to postpone agenda item 7, open to the public event number 3, Perilous Wrens Club anniversary celebration request for an open to the public event number 3 with the consumption of alcoholic beverages and live music to the Perilous Wrens Club for an anniversary celebration scheduled for July 13, 2025 from 2 to 7 p.m. Location 406 Chester Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland 21403.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Post, and you can coordinate with the deputy city clerk, Miss Gaines, and figure that out for a later date.
Yep, I should know in the next couple of days what the date will be, and so I'll email her as soon as I know.
All right, great. So Brianna, can you just tell us then about agenda item 8 and 9, which look like monthly birthday celebrations? They're titled the same.
Yes. So we started doing them last year, usually on Friday evenings, just to kind of on all call, how people will celebrate, the beginning of the month, saying, happy birthday to everyone whose birthday is this month. We started doing those last year. We stopped having them during our kind of hiatus. We were closed to do renovations and redo some of the licensing and whatnot. So we're picking them back up, kicking off with the August one. One of our more popular members, his birthday is happening on that actual Saturday. So we're going to center it around him as it was last year, and then continue to do them throughout the rest of the year as well.
How many people do you anticipate attending these events?
Usually it's about 40. It doesn't end up being too large. It usually ends up being about 40. It really depends. I think a lot of times in the spring and summer when the weather's really nice, those pick up, but in the fall and winter, it kind of tapers.
So this isn't like something you're telling the neighbors about, because this sounds pretty small.
Yeah, it's kind of, we do it pretty much word of mouth, but people have been asking for it to come back, and so we're going to start doing them again.
Board questions? Dick, you always ask the same question.
Look, I'm very used to the Peerless Wrens Club, and if nobody else says anything, I move we approve.
Second, Claire seconded first. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Brianna.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to agenda item 10, request for, wait, I just want to make sure. Okay. All right. I wanted to make sure I didn't have to combine another agenda item. Request for seasonal usage of the city's outside dining program, Ford Brewing. So Madeline, do we have Cam here, I assume?
Yes. Cam, I'm sending a prompt to your screen. You need to accept it to turn your camera and like audio on.
I'll wait till Cam's present and then I'll announce the agenda item. Yeah, anytime now, bud.
I'm sending the prompt. There's
Oh.
a chance that they stepped away.
Miss Gaines she just raised her hand. What were you gonna say, Cindy?
I just was wondering if he was even there because he sent me an email saying he didn't have the link and I sent it to him about 15 minutes ago. But it looks like he's in the room. He must have stepped away.
Yeah.
Go on. Is there one more?
Maybe should we skip to agenda item 11 and then we'll come back to agenda 10? Everybody comfortable with that? Okay, I'm good with
Let's
that.
do that.
So let's just move forward. Agenda item 11, application for a sidewalk cafe permit, Harborside Grill Trading or LLC trading as Latitude 38. Application for, oh, can we pull those folks forward? I guess that's probably where we should start.
Mr. Tompkins.
Ray, I'm sending a prompt to your screen. You need to accept Okay, well now Cam just accepted the prompt, so.
Okay, then we'll go back to agenda 10.
Ray has also now accepted the prompt, so.
Ray can sit in too. I don't know. I don't, however you want to handle this, Madeline, it's up to you.
I'm here.
Hey, Ray.
Hey, Vice Chair, how are you?
Good. Hey, Cam, so we actually were skipping over you, but hey, Ray, do you mind just hanging out while we talk to Cam real quick and just stay
Yeah, I
where
don't
you're
mind.
All right, because everybody's here, so let's just do this. Let's address agenda item 10, request for seasonal usage of the city's outside dining program, Forward Brewing. Request for seasonal usage in the city's program for outside dining with the service alcohol and food to Forward Brewing LLC, trading as Forward Brewing, location 418 4th Street, Annapolis, Maryland 21403 through October 15, 2025. Cam, can you give us your name and address for the record?
Can we see him?
Yeah, I can.
Hi, Dick.
Hey,
I think
Cam,
because
thanks.
Zoom Ray's in and two, like maybe the screen's not, I don't know, but I can see Cam, so.
Great. Camden Bodrin, 109 East Bayview Drive, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
Cam, would you mind raising your right hand and I am going to administer the oath? Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you will give before this board is true and complete to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Fantastic. Cam, do you want to tell us a little bit what you're trying to do here?
Yep. So we are applying to extend our alcohol service to our outdoor dining area at Forward, continuing what we've been doing for 5 years at this point. Our outdoor area is our driveway. It's a private property. It's been outdoor dining since we opened. It's a contained and controlled area with pergolas, tables, fence barriers, and an entrance in the front. We'd be following the same hours as our indoor dining, which is 12 to 9 and 9:30. We'd be serving food the entire time that we'd be serving alcohol. I think that's pretty much it.
Does anyone have questions for Cam regarding this matter?
I have several.
Okay, keep going.
Cam, any problems with the neighbors?
We haven't heard any complaints.
Because they're all going to Dick.
Maybe.
Amen. Second thing, Cam, I saw this in your application where you're going to serve up until 10 p.m. outside, but yet you close at 10 p.m. And I apologize because I'm getting a notice that my internet is unstable. What time are you going to make last call?
So our hours actually are 9 and 9:30 weekday and weekends. So we just put in the application going to the maximum of what's allowed by the code. But I think we typically make last call 15 to 20 minutes before we close an area.
Good. That's what I wanted to hear because everybody else around you is at 10 o'clock they're done outside. So I just wanted to be sure that you were on board with that.
Thank you.
Cam, I just, I know you guys have been doing this, and I know you probably are bringing in maybe some summer staff or temporary staff. It might not be your regular folks. It's so critical that those people, even if you have somebody that doesn't want to address someone, at least tell a manager if there is someone who is trying to take something off-prem to the sidewalk, to the street, they need to know, they need to tell somebody that that's happening.
Absolutely. We've had all of our servers and our hosts and back servers trained with the Restaurant Association of Maryland's alcohol awareness course, and they all know how much we value our liquor license, of course, and the severity of anything going wrong. So they're aware, but I will pass that on.
I'm not saying that because I'm aware of something. That's just a very general, I know you're probably bringing in some summer help, and it's not the same folks that run your operation, the other, that are your staple people that know these things.
Yep.
I'm going to re-emphasize that, Cam. The vertical license, hit them over there. The vertical license are not allowed.
Yep. No, we've got signage and we have a host, and they are all aware that people are not allowed to walk into the sidewalks or the streets. I feel like
don't let those running club people just think they can just do whatever they want.
They're not taking alcohol off.
All right.
So.
No, I'm not to jest, but I mean that is I think that's something that's important because I know, hey, we're busy, there's not a table, but I can get a beer and I'm standing on a sidewalk or I'm standing out in the street and just make the staff aware that that's not okay.
Yeah, and I think that was a problem early on in the COVID days when people were getting drinks with lids walking around, and we made it pretty clear that that wasn't allowed.
Any other questions from the board? Do I hear a motion to? I have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Mr. Sheehan seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Cam. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck, Cam.
Thank you. Appreciate it. What do you want to say, bye?
All right. Thank you, Ray, for your attendance through the matter that didn't pertain to you. So here we go. We are on agenda item 11. Application for sidewalk cafe permit, Harborside Grill, trading as Latitude 38. Application for sidewalk permit on city property, alcohol permitted to Harborside Grill LLC, trading as Latitude 38. Location 1214 Dock 12 through 14 Dock Street, Annapolis, Maryland 21401. Hey, Ray, do you mind providing your name and address for the record?
Yeah, absolutely. Raymond Tompkins, 27233 Ridge Road, Damascus, Maryland 20872.
Thank you, sir. Would you mind raising your right hand since you'll be testifying this evening, and I will administer the oath. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you will give tonight will be true and complete to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Do you want to tell us a little about what you're doing again?
Yeah, so as you know, probably know, the City Dock project is underway downtown at the dock. There's significant construction going on with the fencing and inside the fencing. The goal is to try to shed as much light on that, on our restaurant, and for people to not avoid the area because they see construction or hear construction. The sidewalk cafe is just the starting block. We're hoping to put, and the city's been working with us and we've been working with the city. We're hoping to put up some lights, and have the tables with umbrellas and have the appearance of, hey, what's going on over here other than construction? Obviously, we have a large restaurant, a large seating area. How many people will choose to sit on the sidewalk and enjoy the cafe license and the tables? Who knows? But at least it will help enhance the appeal that something's going on down there other than construction.
Yep. And you've done this before, correct?
We've had the parklet, and I believe at some point we had a sidewalk cafe. But I know we've done the parklet, and we're also understanding, because of the meetings we've had with the city, that this is temporary. And come October, when the boat show sets up, I believe the plan is to fold the construction, allow the boat show, the fall show to go on. And we're under the understanding that once that happens, this all goes away.
So, and you bring up an interesting point too. Like it's summertime, so obviously educating the servers and having an awareness of anybody that's being served out there, the drinks need to stay there.
So no standing and drinking. It's dining only.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no standing and drinking, dining only, and definitely no carry out.
Okay,
it's just like if you were at dinner on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to point out for the public record as well that Mayor Buckley has asked that the city waive the permit fee for this parklet, which is within his purview, but I think it's fair to note for other businesses in that.
First I've heard of it, and that's appreciative.
You can thank him. I didn't do it.
Like I said, the city has been working with us, trying to, not just us, but other businesses that are affected by the construction, to help in any way they can to, relieve some of the burden of the construction.
Yeah, I just want to point out for the public record because I just thought it's worth noting, and I don't have an opinion on it, quite candidly. I just want to make it out there on the public record that the mayor did ask for that waiver, and quite candidly, I don't know if that went through or not, but he did ask for it. So,
okay.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Tompkins? Any of my colleagues on the board? Is there anyone that wants to make a motion?
Claire
Conyer made a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Sheehan made a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Ray. Appreciate you coming. Thank you for sitting through something that wasn't even concerning
I
you.
was excited when we were going to skip agenda 10 and go to 11.
Hey, Ray, drive careful, buddy.
I'm parked, Dick. Don't worry. I'm at
I can
I
see
just
it.
got to. I just got to Norbeck Country Club. My kids and family are inside. And apparently, there's a big fireworks show tonight.
Awesome.
Oh, cool. Enjoy.
Hey, Ray, thank you so much, bud. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. I appreciate it.
Good luck. Have a great summer.
You too.
All right, gang, that brings us to the end of the agenda. Does anyone have anything else? Cindy, was there something, do we need to chat about, I don't know if we put this on there, but do you want to chat about a complaint in the executive session?
Do
You're
not.
on mute.
No, I'll speak to you off the record now.
Okay. Dick? Anything? All right. Well then, I believe that, hold on. I believe our business has concluded for the evening. Is there a motion to dismiss?
Moved.
Poor Claire, you need to go to bed.
Conyers, motion to dismiss. There's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you,
Feel
Bianca.
better, Claire.
Oh my gosh, Bianca, did I even announce that you were here tonight? I think